Hey folks, this is Josh Stein from the School of Circling Wizardry, circlingwizardry.com. This is another video about my map of circling styles. If you haven't seen that video, please pause and have a look at that first. That'll make all of this make a lot more sense. I will link that in the description. I want to go a little bit deeper into the map. I named 4 different aspects, along 2 different dimensions, and I want to talk about the different promises and perils of each of those 4 aspects, and hopefully there's something in there that you can take away that would be helpful for you in the circles that you are a part of. So in this first video, I'm going to be talking about the aspects of circling participation, inquiry, and revealing, and in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the aspects of circling facilitation, active and receptive. So, circling participation. Obviously, curiosity and revealing applies to circling participants, but it also applies to circling facilitators. The next video is going to be more about circling facilitators, but you may also find it useful to make sense of maybe some facilitation that you've seen in others. And hopefully it's not lost on everyone that these are also aspects of just human communication, wink wink. So, circling participation. There are 2 sides of the spectrum. On one side, or in one direction, is inquiry, asking questions. On one side is, in the other direction is revealing, transparency. So, in the direction of inquiry, I am usually coming forward. My attention is on you and interested in what your experience is like. Obviously I'm asking lots of questions, and maybe I'm offering some reflections based on what I'm understanding. That can be a really nice experience to give and to receive. It can be a co-experience of discovery, of insight, revelation. It offers a lot of sense of possibility when we can discover, get interested in those things that maybe we wouldn't even occur to us to be interested in. Curiosity, open curiosity, at least genuine open curiosity, can tend to create more connection. It can create a sense of safety, a sense of togetherness. It can create a sense of feeling seen, heard, understood, and that can be really nice in and of itself. The peril of curiosity, and when I talk about peril, I talk about if you go too far in that direction. So with all of these 4 aspects, if you stay within certain bounds, these are all going to be really generative, really good. But if you go too far in one direction and lose contact with maybe the opposite aspect, that's where you get into trouble. So the peril of too much curiosity is that I'm so far forward that I'm in you and I've lost contact with myself. So the connection then gets cut off, and then I might merge with you, or you may become an object for me to unpack, explore, discover, and then that can start to feel like analysis or interrogation. And I imagine a lot of you have been in that position where someone's just asking you lots of questions, but they seem more interested in figuring you out than actually interested in who you are, in your humanity, and being with you in that experience. So that can feel kind of rotten, and sometimes it can, instead of feeling more open, more safe, more grounded, you'll feel more shut down, more on the defense. So on the other direction is revealing. And when I'm revealing, my attention tends to be more in this direction. I'm more in myself. I'm more interested, if curiosity, I'm interested in you, and revealing, I'm interested in myself. And by the way, these aren't mutually exclusive. I can and ideally am doing both at the same time. I'm in myself, I'm interested in myself, and in a way I'm curious about myself, and then I'm sharing that. So there's more transparency, there's more, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm noticing in my experience. There's a number of benefits to this. One is it puts my cards on the table. You're more aware of where I am at. There's a saying in a practice called T group, I'm not going to ask you to reveal yourself if I can't reveal myself as well. So there's an integrity in revealing myself when I'm with you. It helps me be more present, because oftentimes the things that take me out of connection and out of presence are the things that I'm holding back, things that maybe I'm afraid to share, things that are kind of tugging at my awareness, things that have a grip on me. And by becoming aware of them and naming them, I create a little bit of space between me and it. And there's a saying from Robert Keegan, developmental psychologist, the thing that had a grip on me is now something that I have a grip on. So it helps me free myself from some of those grips that my experience can have on me, create a little bit more space and objectivity with that, which can help me give me more bandwidth to actually be with you. It brings me more closer into connection with you. And the third reason why I think revealing can be so powerful is because I believe that our nervous systems are actually tuning into one another through a process called limbic resonance. I think this is an evolutionary benefit of being a social creature, benefit or peril, depending on how you look at it, is we are on an unconscious level, our brains are scanning for how's everyone else doing. What are other people feeling? And there can be a lot of evolutionary benefits to that. But the result of that is that we're often consciously or unconsciously actually feeling what other people are feeling, or their feelings are resonating inside with our feelings. There's a number of different ways to look at it. But by naming what I'm aware of, I may actually, without even realizing, I may actually be naming the elephant in the room. I may be naming something, I may be speaking for others, not even realizing that I'm speaking for others. Maybe they're not even aware of it, but I have a certain sensitivity that I can bring, that I might be aware of something that, for whatever reason, that someone else isn't aware of. So by naming it, it can actually give voice to something that people could sense was there, but just didn't have the words for. And that could be kind of liberating to get to see the unseen, see the elusive obvious. So I'm a big fan of revealing. There's a lot of power to it. But the peril of too much revealing, where I'm going so far in this direction, I'm so far in myself that I get lost in myself and I lose contact with you. And it becomes more of a self. It's like I'm doing my work in front of you. I'm doing my self-inquiry in front of you. I'm doing my personal development in front of you. And it becomes more of a masturbatory or narcissistic at its worst kind of expression. And then on the other end, you're stuck there in what we call a captive audience. Maybe you've experienced this where someone just seems like they're just talking at you rather than with you. And so instead of being more connecting, that can be disconnecting. That can be, well, I don't know what's going on over there. It's like it's something that I might want to like actually move myself away from if I see someone doing that. Yeah. So that's in the direction of too much revealing. I like to believe that there's a middle ground, and there's a whole terrain in between those two. As I said, they're not mutually exclusive, where I can be bringing curiosity, inquiry, and revealing. I can be bringing attention on self and attention on other. And I actually believe that those two ingredients are necessary for real connection. I have to have a self in order to connect with you. I need to be aware of you in order to bring myself towards you to make that contact. So that is the dimension of participation in circling and in human connection. In the next video, as I said, I'm going to talk about more specifically circling facilitation, active versus receptive facilitation. This is all a work in progress. I'm learning this as I go along. Even as I make these videos, I'm having insights. If you had an insight, if you had an impact, if you had a new thought, if you disagree with something that I shared or agreed with something that I shared, I would love it. I would love to hear. So please share in the comments or send me a message, josh@circlingwizardry.com. And in the next video, I am going to talk about the next part, circling facilitation. The last thing is that maybe this brings up a question for you. Maybe you want more clarification, or maybe just an abstract thought that came in that has you curious about this aspect of circling or human connection. I would love to hear those, and it's possible I might even make a video about that. So please share those in the comments or send me a message as well. Thank you so much. If you like these videos, hit subscribe. You can hit the little bell icon as well to get notified. And hope to see you in the next video. Ciao.